Hey, look at this! I finally learned how to use a microphone. Sorry, that wasn't in the developer skills handbook. Hi there, Adam here. You know, you can develop software all day long, and when it comes time to submit, you hear, just submit it to Gerrit. Now, if you're like me, you've got an inventory full of level 4 resonators, but that's completely irrelevant. You may also wonder, how do I submit to Gerrit? Well, at least I wondered that. So, I decided to invite the lead tech of the largest community-driven ROM right here to XDA Developer TV. Guillaume, aka XplodWild, is very knowledgeable about Gerrit, as he runs his own. So today we're going to talk with OmniROM's XplodWild about how to use Gerrit. So now, first I'd like to prefix this by saying that you're going to need to know how to use Git to start with before you start working with Gerrit. So if you need some help, we'll have some links down there, down in my pants. Anyways, let's get started.
Yeah, basically it's just kind of a big repository of patches that everyone can review, so you can see the differences, you can see the diff between the base code and after the patch. And through that you can put comments on each line of the diff, and if everything is good you can just merge it and it will merge into the repository in a way that doesn't need, in a way that you don't need to merge various branches together. And by using Gerrit, you have a way to have a kind of streamlined commits, and so you don't have all those merge commits where you merge from your various branches into your main branch, into other branches again. So just have your commits next to each other, and you don't have to have those merge commits every time. So when you tell repo you want to start a new patch, internally it creates a new branch, a new Git branch, and you make your commits on that. And when you push your patch to Gerrit, it will say, okay, this patch has been made from that specific commit hash. So basically, if you have your public source code hosted on GitHub and you're using Gerrit, when you push a patch, it will first be hosted on the Gerrit copy of the repository. And once you merge it, once you approve a patch, it will be pushed to both the internal Gerrit copy of the Git repository and pushed to the public GitHub repository. So I'm gonna first run repo sync, and it's gonna download all the repositories needed to build Omni. It's gonna take a minute or two. So we go into the directory, we change a file, and then we commit it. So the easy way to commit that and push that for Gerrit is by just using the git push command. So you'll have to push it to a very special URL and branch. So basically, you have to push it to your Gerrit host. So in the case of OmniROM, it's gerrit.omnirom.org. Through the port 294A418. So that's the Gerrit port. You can't really change it, and it's probably the same for all the projects using Gerrit around the world. You have to prefix that with your Gerrit username, so that's what you set in your settings. So if I into my settings here, you have your username here, which you set on the first time you actually start using Gerrit. When you first sign into Gerrit, you have to set your username. So that's this username that you have to put into this field.
Okay, so once you become a Gerrit user, all you have to do is just use that SSH and then your username at gerrit.omnirom.org and 29418. And that's all taken care of just by signing into the gerrit.omnirom.org website, right?
Yeah, so you also have to push your SSH public key. So there's plenty of tutorials on the web on how to generate your SSH key.
Okay. And
you just then have to put into your public key section here.
All right. We'll skip this part right here. We don't need to learn how to add keys and everything. There are plenty of tutorials on how to add keys. That's standard Git stuff.
Okay. So yeah, once you sign into Gerrit, you set your username and you don't need to do anything else. So Then comes the project name. So in the case of Omni, we have kind of a convention to put Android underscore and the path to the folder with a slash replaced with underscores. So you can find a list of all the projects when you go to Gerrit. So you go into projects, list, and then you have a list of all the projects you have. So if you're looking for example, a Chromium repository we have, you can start typing Chrome, and you have the name of the repository. And this project name is what goes into this part. So in our case, in this example, framework space. So when we tell Git that we want to push the head, so the last commit we did, so in this case this one here, to the Android 4.4 branch. So in order to tell Gerrit that we want to push it for review, we have to put refs4 as the target branch, and then the name of the branch we want to commit to. So in the case of Omni, again, we use the Android 4.4 branch for all our repositories using KitKat. So again, you can find the name of the branch in the branch.
Can you go back? I had a serious glitch in the audio quality when you said in the case of Android 4.4 branch on the last page.
So in the case of Android 4.4, you can find the name of the branch in Gerrit. So when you look at the last commit, you can see that all the commits are in Android 4.4. This is true for KitKat, and you can still find, for example, the Jelly Bean 4.3 branch if you want to. But basically, you just put whatever branch the remote Git repository has.
All right, so now you're going to go ahead and show us exactly how this works in real time, and we'll go ahead and you're going to make a little change to a file. I guess that would be part of the NFC manager then?
Removing this part of a comment, really useful change. Git status, you can see that it lists me that I have a file changed. So once I change my file, I'm just going to go ahead and hit git commit. In my commit, as you can see here, I'm in a detached head state, so I'm not on any branch, but I can push that commit to Gerrit. So it doesn't really matter if you're on a branch or not. The thing to really remember is that everything that you're gonna push is gonna be pushed to Gerrit. So if you're on a branch and you have 10 commits and you run git push blah 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 head refs for Android 4.4, it will push all the commits that are new to Gerrit, so all the commits that aren't already on Gerrit will be added to review. So if you have 100 commits and you're pushing them, you will have 100 new review tickets on Gerrit. So you really have to make sure that you're not pushing like something totally different, or like a repository from a different project or something to the wrong Gerrit repository, because everything will be pushed there. So I'm gonna push my commit here. So when you push something from a review, you push to your username at your Git host name, then the Gerrit port that's defined, you cannot change it, / project name, and you have refs4. So by putting refs4, you tell, okay, I want to push my commit for review for that branch, which is the current KitKat branch. It works just like a regular git merge. So if you change something else in the file, it will rebase it accordingly, and your change will still work as is. When a Gerrit administrator review it and submit it, if there is a merge conflict, it will say basically, okay, I cannot merge this. You have to take your patch and rebase it manually against the latest version of a file, because there were changes at the same place as you did before.
I appreciate you coming on and sharing this knowledge. It's really good of you to do that. Do you have anything you'd like to say?
Well, thanks for having me, and I'm looking forward to review your new features and add them to Omni.
So I really hope you guys found this look at Gerrit informative. Go ahead and jump on that wild hair and try this stuff out. You can put your knowledge to use. The absolute worst thing that could happen is that your patch doesn't get approved. That's about all for this episode. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, thumbs up, like, and if you want to, you can go ahead and follow myself and XplodWild. We'll have some links down in my pants. Hack on!